Hi everybody, this is Paul. I hope this video finds you well and ready to do another super fun activity. So today we're going to be making some masks together. Masks can do a lot of different things. You may have noticed people wearing masks when they go to the store. These masks are to keep people safe and stop the spread of the coronavirus. You might have even noticed some superheroes wearing masks. Those masks are to keep their identity secrets so they can live two different lives. Our masks are going to be a little different. Today we're going to be making masks that are used to try and discover a part of ourselves that stays a little quiet sometimes. So today we're going to be making brave masks. We'll talk a second about bravery first before we get started on our masks. So bravery can mean a lot of different things for different people. Bravery can be courage to do something hard. Bravery can be strength in response to people making you angry, finding a way to stay calm. Bravery can also be allowing yourself to feel scared or sad, being okay with those feelings. Bravery can also be sticking to who you are when other people want you to change. It's different for everybody, which is why we're gonna make a mask, is to see what our own bravery looks like. So we don't need to use words if we don't want to. We can use pictures and color and shapes and all different pieces that we find around our house to see what makes up our own bravery. Let's go. Paper, glued, probably a paintbrush. If you don't have one, it's okay. A pair of scissors for sure. Markers. Tissue paper. Okay.
So we're going to start out by making the general shape of a mask. I'm going to start with a paper plate and show you how to make eye holes for it. So we're going to start with a kind of circular eye, or you can do an almond-shaped eye if you want it to look a little more emotional, or it's like it got a little more texture. So the way you cut an eye out of a flat paper plate is you kind of fold it a little bit and snip a corner with your scissors, and from there you can kind of work the end in so you can cut the rest of the eye hole out. Now make sure that you're very careful when using these scissors. It can be easy to cut yourself, and don't point them at your face when you're trying to figure out what you're doing. You can see here that I'm having a little bit of difficulty. It's not the easiest thing, but if you work at it, you can kind of figure it out. So at this point, I really don't know what my brave mask is going to look like. I'm thinking, for some reason, my bravery seems to be connected to this idea of a mountain. I think mountains are very strong and they sit there and kind of watch the world go by. So as I'm cutting my eyes out, I'm starting to think about maybe some imagery that I connect with my bravery. Now, you can kind of go at it like this, or you can start looking around you, looking around your home, looking around your backyard, in magazines and books, to see what you think connects to your sense of bravery. So here I'm starting on the kind of almond-shaped eye to, superheroes, they never have just circular eyes. All their eyes are almond-shaped, kind of like our own. So they have a little bit more emotion to them if you can try to make that shape. There we go. So next I'm going to show you how to make a mask on a piece of paper in case you don't have something like a paper plate. So first you want to draw an oval. A person's head is bigger at the top, and at their chin it's a little smaller. So your oval has to kind of come to a point at the end. You can see how it's bigger at the top and then smaller at the bottom. Now take a pencil and draw a line halfway down in the middle, like long ways, and then halfway across shortwise. And on the halfway across shortwise, you will find where to put your eyes. So here we go. We can draw these two lines, and your eyes are about halfway down your face. So an art teacher taught me that when I was younger, and I put good use to that knowledge. So this is how you kind of make the general shape of a face. So when I start, I'll be using the paper plate because it's a little thicker. It stands up better to anything that my bravery could throw at it. So a piece of paper is fine, but if you have something thicker, it might be better to use because it'll last a little longer, and the world might be able to see a little bit more of your bravery, and you might as well. So I'm going to start with some tissue paper, and like before, I still am not really sure what I'm going to do. So I'm just cutting shapes out of tissue paper. My camera person is asking if I should blow my nose in the tissue paper, and that's why I said no. No, don't blow your nose in the tissue paper before you put it on the mask. It's not a good idea. So I'm going to take some glue, put a little bit in a small little bowl, and then start taking a paintbrush to brush on the tissue paper. I think my idea here is to make a little crown at the top. So, you know, if I was making a lion, I would try to use tissue paper to make its big fluffy mane. But I'm still thinking about a mountain for some reason. So I think my idea here with the blue tissue paper is to make the big billowing sky reaching out above. Now you can see I've kind of drawn the mountain and started coloring in a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I don't go at it just totally. I just fill in little bits as I feel like it. And right here, I seem to feel like putting on a bird. So I'm drawing a bird. You can't really see it all that well, but it's a goose. I chose to put a goose on my mountain, and I wasn't really sure why I did it at the time, but as I think about it, geese are very brave. They will stand up for their families. They'll chase down people who are much, much larger than them. They are full of bravery. You may not like their bravery all the time, but they always have it. And they fly thousands of miles. They live in different places all across the world. And I think they're a very brave bird, and also quite a beautiful bird as well. Now, I want another animal. The goose is fine in its bravery, but I wanted another one. So I started looking around me and decided to draw a dog. And here you can see my own dog sleeping on the floor. She doesn't look very brave right then, but she's got some bravery hidden deep down in there. So I'm drawing a little dog on the side of my mountain to go along with my goose. And there you go. You can kind of see both of them as I'm outlining them in black marker. While I was making my mask, I wanted to think about a moment where I was very brave, and I started thinking about when I moved to graduate school. So I moved to a college far away. I left all my friends and family behind, and I was worried that I wouldn't meet anybody. I brought all my books and my things with me, but I didn't realize that I'd also brought myself with me. It's like a mountain that travels with you. So it took a while, but I finally found that I was able to connect to people, and I feel like I was very brave for doing that. It was kind of a risk that I took. So here I'm cutting little holes in the side to attach yarn so I can tie my awesome bravery mask to my face to remind me of the time that I left what I knew behind and moved into the mountains on the West Coast. It was a great experience. Having a little trouble here with the yarn, but I'll figure it out. You know, it's that patience that you need sometimes when you're doing arts and crafts. You can see here that I've attached a little bit of paper towel with glue to the tiny little peaks of my mountain to show a little bit of snow, to give it a little bit of texture. So once you poke a hole in one side of it, pull the yarn through, tie a little knot. It doesn't have to be a super strong double knot. It can just be a regular one. So once you've done this, then it's a good idea to kind of put the mask up to your face and measure out how much yarn you're going to need to make sure that you can fit it comfortably around your head. Now, this is an important step because if you can't put it on, other people can't see it. You've done a great job of making it so you can see it, but now maybe it's time to put it on and show your family members or show people on Skype or Zoom what your bravery looks like so they can see. I think they'll be very impressed. So there we go. I kind of measured out how much yarn I was going to need, and I should be a little bit more careful with these scissors. I hope you are careful at home. So now I'm going to tie it to my face. Let's see. Here we go. How's it gonna look? What do you think? Do I look brave?
So, that's how you make a brave mask. I hope you enjoyed making yours. I certainly enjoyed making mine. It might be a little chaotic, but I know when I look at it, I feel that sense of bravery. And I think I get to know a little bit about what my own bravery looks like. It's a little fiery, but that's okay. All right, thanks for joining. Bye, everybody.